This video is all about consciousness. Specifically, we're going to discuss the highest level of consciousness that humans can achieve. We might call it enlightenment, or ascension, or becoming a true master. My name is Brent Michael Phillips. I'm the founder and creator of the awakening dynamic system of energy healing and higher consciousness. And this is video number 7 of 9 in our series on consciousness. Big picture, I want to map out for you the journey of human consciousness, show you how it works, show you the different stages, and give you a lot of tips and tricks and secrets on how to help yourself and others navigate this journey more easily. And this video is all about the highest level of consciousness that we can get to. And there's been many different terms for it. Some are called siddhas, some are called enlightened masters or ascended beings. Use whatever language vocabulary you like. But the one thing they all have in common is they are at the highest place. And if you've ever been around someone of really high consciousness, it is a visceral thing. You can literally feel it. That it's not like they walk by and you don't notice it. Someone at the lower vehicle state, yes. I mentioned that my late mentor, Carl, who was the most powerful, highest vibration person I've known and worked with personally, you probably wouldn't have felt much if you walked by him on the street. And so, we're talking like 600s level on the consciousness scale of Hawkins. I'm the same way. I'm not an enlightened master. I'm just someone that's dedicated his life to it. For certain, I've been told by my teachers, I'm absolutely in the vehicle stage. I do spend my life literally teaching awakening, right? That's no joke. But if you walk by me on the street, I don't think my energy would knock you over. But the highest masters, that's what happens. And I want to explain a little more about how that works and why they're here and how we should relate to them. That makes sense, right? So before we do that, though, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever been in the presence of someone of extremely high consciousness, where their energy hits you like a wave in the ocean, right? That growing up, I used to go a lot to the beach to bodyboard and later to surf. Imagine being in the ocean and a 10-foot wave hits you, right? You can't miss it, people, right? Be careful. You cannot miss it. These extremely high consciousness humans are like that. And so clearly Jesus was a little before my time, as was Buddha and many of the great masters we know of. But this is what you will hear about from those that were in their presence. And so the first thing I want to call out is they're not better than us, they're just different. That when we look at the human journey of consciousness, remember that the stages of consciousness parallel the physical development of the body. We're all born as victims, and children, those of young age, are parallel to victim consciousness. They're not bad, they're just young. Then we grow up, you become an adult, you become a victor. So teenage through middle age, victor range. Then as we become elderly, we transition to be the vehicle. Because it seems to be the way our world works, at least right now, that as we get older, we lose our physical strength. We lose our mental acuity. Our vision, our hearing deteriorate. Most of us retire at some point, and instead of making more money, we start drawing down our savings to support ourselves in retirement. Nothing wrong with any of that. I'm just noting that that's how the journey of consciousness parallels the journey of the human body. And at the end, there is that thing we call enlightenment, masterhood. And so one of the things that really distinguishes the enlightened masters from everyone else is they're not here to learn anything. They already got it. They're here for us. They're here to show us what's possible, to help guide us on our journey. And that's my understanding, at least. Because again, Brent's no enlightened master. At least not yet. Who knows what the future brings, right? But no, I'm somewhere in the 500s, at least as I make this video. I think my late mentor, Carl, somewhere in the 600s. But there are people of extremely high consciousness that are way up there. And why did they come to earth? Again, it's to serve us, to be our teachers. It's kind of like school. We grow up, right? You go to elementary school, you go to middle school, you go to high school, maybe you go to college, graduate school, whatever, right? Some people, after they graduate, go back to school. Why would you do that, right? Simple. We call them teachers. So your high school calculus teacher isn't there to learn calculus. He already got it, right? He's there to help you learn calculus. Your first grade elementary school teacher, she's not there to learn to read. She already knows how to read. She's there to help others, the younger ones. So they are truly teachers in that sense. And so the purpose of the masters, to my best understanding, is to give us a reference point in our experience and knowledge to see what's possible, not to be worshipped as gods, not to be put on a pedestal. Because it's ironic. The statement, I am enlightened, or that I am better than you because I'm a master, is ludicrous. If you really think that, you are not a master. Why? That's victor think. The whole idea of I'm better than you because I'm more spiritual or higher vibration or an older soul is ridiculous. It's ludicrous. It makes no sense. If you go there, what's actually happened is you've made a U-turn temporarily to go back to being a victor. So they do not see themselves as better than us in the same way that our teachers in school don't see themselves as inherently superior beings to their children. Of course not. They're just more experienced and they're to share their knowledge, right? So the trap we fall into is we may worship them as gods, put them apart from us, and think that we can never do what they're doing. That's not true. Maybe not your current life, or maybe you can. Because remember, this journey of consciousness often takes a lot more than one life. Whether you think about it generationally or past lives or soul levels, that's up to you, right? Not here for dogma or theology. This is a big picture journey. So they're here to create a reference point. What does that mean? Well, it's pretty simple. Ever learned to ride a bike? I did when I was little. My parents got me a bike with training wheels. And so what's the purpose of training wheels? Well, they help you balance on the bike before you can balance yourself. So you ride your bike with training wheels. It gives you the feeling in your body of what it feels like to ride a bike. That's the reference point. That's the context. That's what gurus and masters are here to do for us, to allow us to at least temporarily experience something that we can't yet do on our own. And so how do training wheels work? It's pretty simple. You use training wheels and you ride your bike, and at some point you take them off and get rid of them because you don't need them. Why? Training wheels slow you down. It's that simple. You can't do as much on your bike. It takes more energy. When you don't need them, they just get in the way. They are meant as a temporary thing to give you a reference point in your body and mind of what it feels like to ride a bike, only until you don't need it. That's what our gurus and masters are for. It really is. So before we finish up, this is going to be a little shorter video. Got a lot less to say about being a master than the other three stages, right? I would love to hear, have you ever been in the presence of one of these high beings? And what did it feel like for you? Would love to hear if you want to share. While you're down there, click like, click subscribe. If you think this is valuable and think others could benefit from seeing this, one of the ways you can serve our world and help to heal all the problems we have is by sharing things that elevate consciousness. So please, if you like this, share this with your friends, your family, anyone that's ready to hear it. And don't just share my stuff, share the stuff of all the teachers and guides that you find useful. Because if we all share and work together, we really can not only solve our own problems, but we can take on the big picture problems of the world too. I know that's true. The one thing I'll caution you is it's very easy to become dependent on our teachers, our gurus, our masters. Just like it's very easy to get dependent on training wheels. And at some point, my parents took the training wheels off my bike and forced me to ride. The same thing happened with my late mentor, Carl. I went to every single program, event, class he offered for about 5 years. I did everything. I spent well over $100,000 out of pocket just with Carl. Private sessions, retreats, intensives, all this stuff, right? And at one point, I showed up to one of his Wednesday night groups. I asked a question, and Carl shut me down. He said, "Brent, get out." I'm like, "What, did I offend you or something?" He's like, "No, get out. You've been coming to all my stuff for 5 years. You've learned what I have to teach you. You go be the teacher." And I was like, "I'm not ready. I'm not worthy," right? But Carl was firm. I'm like, "How about 2 more weeks?" He's like, "No, now." And I didn't feel ready, but I did it. And that was over 10 years ago. So don't worry, this wasn't last week, right? That's the danger of them. We can become dependent on them. Think we can only do it if we have their help. As long as you watch out for that, these people have so much good, so much power. Be around them, work with them as much as you possibly can. The last thing I'm going to say right now, I want to make a clear distinction between awakening and enlightenment. They are not the same thing. In terms of the Hawkins scale, if you watch these videos, this will be very easy to understand. Awakening is graduating from the victor to the vehicle. Awakening is the 500 vibration. It's understanding the truth of you. That's all it is. That is the graduation of the victor to the vehicle. Enlightenment is the 1000 vibration, the highest consciousness within human potential, the end of the road. Nothing more to learn here, folks. They just come back to support and assist the rest of us. So I just want to make that clear. I'm giving it a very quick coverage now. On this YouTube channel, I have a whole video in detail about the difference between awakening and enlightenment. So look it up if you want to learn more. I will walk you through it step by step. But that's all I have to say for right now. This is the end of video number 7 of 9 in our series on consciousness. The next video, which is number 8 in the series, is all about reconciling the vehicle and the victor. How do we own the content of our life without being attached to it? How can you be the source of everything in your life, but at the same time, a vehicle of divine will? On the surface, it's a paradox. But I found the resolution. I'm going to share it with you in our very next video. Until then, please take care and namaste.